Welcome to 2026, is what I would have said at the beginning of the year. Long story short, the festive season was busy and I moved in with my partner whilst also clearing my house out for rent. Anyway, I'm back and I'm excited to make videos for the channel and sink my little pincers into some more gaming in 2026, which is basically what this video is all about. In 2025, I spent a lot of time being busy. I work full time and seem to make myself busy, taking on projects or trying to tick off the never-ending to-do list, and I often forget to prioritize fun and more fulfilling activities like gaming. I'll probably make a video in depth about how hard it is to find time and prioritize gaming as an adult, but nevertheless, this year, I want to prioritize gaming and cup-filling activities, like this YouTube channel. So how am I going to achieve this? First is time blocking, like actually planning my gaming time into my day. I used to have a long to-do list for my days off, and I would think that I would basically allow myself to game when the list is done. Only issue is that I often just keep adding to the list because there's always things to be done, and the list just never ends. And so I would always run out of time and then think, that's okay, I'll just leave gaming until tomorrow, and then rinse and repeat. Next minute, I'm going back to work and I've barely spent any time gaming. Now I actually want to plan my gaming into my day, like actually time block a chunk of the day that I dedicate to gaming. Once a certain time hits in the day, then no further activities are going to happen because this is the time for gaming. Gaming is important. It's something that really fulfills me. It allows me to slow down. It allows me to relax. And I really need to prioritize doing fun things and not being busy all the time. The second thing that's changed for me is the purchase of a handheld console. I have a Lenovo Legion Go SZV1, I believe it's called, with Bazzite or Steam OS installed, and it's fucking amazing. I used to have a Switch that I rarely ever used except when I was on deployment, but I never really played it that much as I'm not a huge Nintendo girly, but this Lenovo/Steam machine, I never really know what to call it because it's a Lenovo Legion, but when I tell that to my friends, they're like, a what now? But if I call it a Steam machine, they're like, oh, sick. So I just called it my handheld or my Steam machine. It's basically a Steam machine with better specs. It's sick. Anyway, this system has my entire Steam library available to me, which is awesome. It means that I can get cheaper games on Steam and play them wherever I want to. Obviously, the Switch limits you in a lot of ways to their proprietary games and software, whatever. So I'm a huge fan of this handheld. I got it for a sale. I got like $500 off. It was pretty sick. I'll probably make a video about it, but it's really changed the way that I game. So the system has a sleep mode, so I can easily just waken the console wherever I left off and jump straight into the game, which means it's really easy to just jump in and game if I'm really short on time. So if I only have half an hour to an hour, it means I'm more likely to pick it up and play something instead of doom scrolling, or with my PC, because it's such a small amount of time, I'm less likely to actually turn it on and game if I only have less than an hour to play. And I mentioned doom scrolling, which brings me to my next point. I really want to stop doom scrolling. Doom scrolling is a massive time waste, as we all know. Instead of picking up my phone to scroll Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, or whatever the fuck else there is, I want to find a way, maybe a third-party app, to restrict my time on there to maybe like half an hour or an hour a day. I should delete them altogether, and I've thought about it, and I kind of have done it before, but I also don't want to completely disconnect from friends and family who do use them. So I think restricting my usage will give me some time back that I will hopefully use to spend more time gaming and, more of my other fun hobbies, like I said earlier, this YouTube channel. Another way I'm changing how I game is by being more intentional with how I play games. I've created a backlog list in my phone of all the games I want to play, but for this year only, which I'll continue to add to when I see games that look interesting or when new games come out. By having a list, I can actually see the gravity of the undertaking at hand. Instead of aimlessly wishing I could play all the games that I see, having an actual list makes the reality of how many games I do want to get to and how much time investment all those games are going to take, it kind of puts it in perspective. My list currently has about 15 or so games on it. And if I assume each game will take, I don't know, let's just say 15 hours on average to complete, then that's 225 hours or 9 to 10 days of pure gaming. Considering I have a full-time job, a social life, and other commitments, that seems plausible to get through this year. But if I wanted to add more to it, I might consider moving other games to the bottom of the list or off the list altogether. It makes me think a little bit more if I really want to play that game or if I should spend a little bit less time on it. I'm also prescribing to the 2 to 3 game system. I have about 2 or 3 games on the go at all times. I have an easy game always going on the handheld, which I usually reserve to if I can't get on my computer or if I want to game on the go. This way I have my main game that I'm playing on my PC and then maybe another game as a backup if I want to play something different, a different genre, a different style of game. And then there's also the games that I might jump into with friends. But having a few games to choose from, it kind of reduces the choice fatigue and also gives you something to just jump into if I'm not really feeling it with one of the games. I'm also making more of an effort to combine social time with gaming. Like I mentioned, 2 of my best mates live in another city, and one of our main ways of catching up and staying connected at the moment is through gaming. To me, the game we play kind of doesn't really matter. We're not really into a lot of the same games, but for me, it's just the ability to stay connected and to catch up. So the final way I'm being more intentional with how I game is actually this YouTube channel, as I've mentioned a couple of times already. I want to continue to make videos and share my gaming journey, and also this functions as kind of a gaming journal of sorts. I want to review and sort of share some of the games that I'm playing. I want to be consistent with it, and I think I figured out a way to streamline my workflow a little bit without eating too much into my gaming time and other hobbies and commitments. So we'll see how that goes, but it's something that I definitely want to share and will kind of push me to get into a lot of different games as well. So these are all the ways I'm changing up how I game this year, focusing on being more intentional about setting time aside for gaming, as it really helps me to unwind and stay connected. So how are you trying to game these days? Are you trying to be more intentional with gaming? Do any of my methods resonate with you? Let me know in the comments, and other than that, smile like you mean it.